Hey there, how there, ho there, Shifter down. Welcome you to yet another time travel tennis tournament. We're doing the extra men, that's the kind of doubles icons and the old school singles players that did not make the modern or like the open era card sets. But these guys are playing here in Manchester on grass circuit. Whoever wins their round of 32 matches will get a trip to the Grand Men Tour, six men's tour, 16 winners, 6 times 16, 96. The ladies have to go 4 times 24. But anyhow, George Lott had a tough match with Huntington, losing in the tiebreak 7-6 at 13-11, but he managed to win the third set. Van Ryn took down Mark Knowles, a pretty good doubles player, in straight sets. Aldrich took down Elting in 3 sets. McAmey took down Art Larson, which was hard, in straight sets. Woodbridge took down Slobodan from Yugoslavian straights. Whedon took down Harvey Ward in straights. Nick Mahut had to face Battley and beat him 7-6, 7-6. And Canada's own Daniel Nestor beat Lysett. So now he'll face Grosjean. So this is the round of 32 right now. Renshaw would take on Lott. Van Ryn Masters. Schussbear Aldrich. McAmey Gleadhill. Renberg Woodbridge. Whedon Dixon. Davidson Mahut. And Nestor Grosjean. Of course, you notice on the right hand side, we are going to be doing the right hand side of the draw today. But you notice, of course, these guys are not playing. So what happens is the seeded players from 1 to 16 get buys to the round 32, and we'll have wildcard matches to see who they play the seeds. Seeding doesn't matter. If you lose, you lose. Simple as that. So anyhow, we're gonna be on the right side of the bracket. Our first matchup will be a Brit. One of the two Brits today, Pat Hughes. He takes on Max Mirny, who's a pretty good doubles player if I ever say one. Mirny did not win a title. He made it to two finals, Milan and New South Wales, within 30 weeks of each other. In week 7, he beat Palafox, Dwight Davis, Dugumore, and then Hughes. That's his match against Hughes. But he lost to Grosjean after being up 2-0. He got reverse swept. And then week 37, in New South Wales, 16 men. He beat Warwick, Hebert, and Dixon to face Jekyll Elting and lost to him in 4 sets. So Murney will have to had to qualify through luck and stats. Pat Hughes won the Monte Carlo Open in week 8, got to the French Open in week 17, which was pretty good. So in Monte Carlo, he beat Slobodan, then Schmid, Gladehill, Lysett, and then Roger Taylor. It was a tight 5-setter, but he beat Taylor to move on. And then his next tournament, of course, if you win a weekly tournament, you're booted from other weekly tournaments, but you're allowed to play in the Grand Slams because money and prestige, and of course, ranking points wouldn't matter. If you win multiple titles, then you can get higher up in the points. But anyway, he beat Bob Bryan, Lott, Ralston, Griffin, and Gorman. We went through the American Gauntlet, but unfortunately, the last match was against a Frenchman, and that's Mo Germeau, and got swept in 3 sets. He actually had to reverse sweep Clarence Griffin. Here we go.
Quiet please. Hughes to serve. First game. Play.
Well, if Hughes wins, his match will be on Friday. Automatically.
Out. 15 love. Out. 30 love. Out. 40 love. Out. Game Hughes. First game. Out. Love 15. Love 30. 15 30. 15 40. 30 40. Deuce. Out. Advantage. Murney. Out. Deuce.
Out.
Advantage, Hughes.
Out.
Game, Hughes. Hughes leads 2-0 first set.
Remember, 10 minutes is the rule.
Love 15. 15 all. 15 30. 30 all.
Out.
40 30. Game, Hughes. Hughes leads 3-0 first set.
So Hughes looking pretty good. Up 3-0. And he did it. Hughes 6-3, 7-6. Murney gave him a bit of a run, but Pat Hughes wins. Giant win for the Brits. His match versus Tommy Robredo will be on Friday. So, of course, we're going with the 6 round of 32 matches tomorrow, 6 on Thursday, 4 on Friday. Renshaw's match and against Lott and Dixon versus Sweden. Because they're English, they will get the Friday treatment. Dixon and Sweden. We know Hughes will face Murney. Now the question is, if Roger Taylor wins his match to face Tom Gorman, that will be on Friday. Otherwise, we'll have to find a 4th match. Nevertheless, this matchup is James Dwight versus Manny DeGamore. Dwight won a match. DeGamore did not. Anyway, Dwight, this is the 3rd time he faces DeGamore. And this is the 3rd time he's faced the guy 3 times. Dixon and Case. Hopefully trying to get someone 3-0. He won the London Cup in week 34. Beating Van Rensburg, Nenad, DeGamore, and Baddeley to get this far. DeGamore, that was one of his 2 losses to Dwight. He faced Leon Lopez 5 times and Jack Loutley 4 times. He faced Pelefox 3 times without a loss. Two finals, non-countable. 2 finals, Atlanta and Geneva. Got to the Sweet 16 in Australia, where he beat Pure and Ralston. Tough matches, but lost to David Whedon. Yeah, he went through the final in Atlanta, beat Woodbridge, Griffin, Huntington, and Bundy, but Gladehill beat him in 5 sets. He was actually down 2-0, but he ran out of gas. And then the second one in Geneva, he beat Kubo, Pelefox, Dixon, and Jocko before losing the Slowzil quite easily.
Quiet plays, Dwight to serve. First game. Play. 15 love.
Out.
15 all.
Out.
15 30.
Out. Out.
30 all.
Out. Out.
40 30. Game, Dwight. First game. "15 love." 15 all. 15 30. 30 all.
Out.
40 30. Game to Gomar. 1 game all, first set.
Out.
15 love. 30 love.
Out.
30 15.
Out.
30 all. 40 30. Game Dwight. Dwight leads 2 games to 1, first set.
So anyway, 2-1 for James Dwight. Did that help him? The answer is no. He lost the first set 7-6 and then fell apart. Duka Moore sends Dwight a message. Looking on my backside. So Duka Moore will now have to face Bob Bryan, who's not really much of a singles player in history, but you never know. Our next wildcard match is Clarence Griffin versus Pavel Slozo. Both these guys have won a title in this year. Griffin won the Torneo International in Italia in week 16, got to the quarters in week 17 of the French Open, so he had a good 2 weeks. In Florencia, he beat Case, Sloman, and Hebert Woodford, and then Jeff Masters to move on. And then in France at number 13, he beat Souk, Fitzgerald, and Taylor before Pat Hughes screwed him over. Despite the fact that he had Pat Hughes dead to rights at the French Open in the quarters, he choked. Meanwhile, Slozo won the Geneva Open in week 28, got to the French Open quarterfinals himself. In a different quarterfinal, he had to beat Hebert in 4 sets. He had a tough 5-setter against Gisbert and then a tough 5-setter against Grosjean. Against Tom Gorman, he was actually up 2-0. So Slozo, like his opponent Griffin, actually was up 2-0 but got reverse swept, this time by Gorman. So man, Slozo is probably not happy with his performance. But wait, when did he win? Geneva. Oh yeah, Geneva. Week 28 in Geneva. You gotta wait till week 28. He beat Grab, Pure, Fitzgerald, Mahout, and then the Gilmore to finally break the slump and move in.
Quiet please. Griffin to serve. First game. Play.
There we go.
15 love. 30 love. 30 15.
Out.
40 15.
Out.
Game Griffin. First game.
Out.
Love 15.
Out.
Love 30. Love 40. 15 40.
Out. Out.
30 40. Game Griffin. Griffin leads 2 games to love, first set.
Out.
15 love. 30 love.
Out.
40 love.
Out.
Game Griffin. Griffin leads 3 games to love, first set.
So Griffin looking like he's going to crush Slozil in the fine powder. We shall see. And oh boy, did he ever! Slozil had no chance. Zilch, nada. Griffin wins 6-1, 6-2. So Griffin easily will win, and now he'll face Fitzgerald, the 16th seed, in the next round. Next up, we have Leandro Paes and Mark Woodford, two legendary doubles players who are not really in their element as singles players. And funny as this sounds, Paes and Woodford were actually two of the last four guys to be in the 48-man tournament. Paes was put in at number 45, Woodford at number 47 for the 48 names. So Paes and Woodford, and this will be a rubber match. Paes got to three semifinals in London, Auckland, and the Masters. So basically, once chances were running out to win a tournament and automatically make the tournament without having to worry about the stats screwing you over. He did get 216 in France. He did beat Renshaw and Van Ryn, but then lost to Germeau in straights. Yeah, the last 2 weeks he got to the semifinal. There were only 16 guys in Auckland. He beat Mahood and Woodford, but Martin Dom took him. And then in week 40, he beat Matt and Fizzer, but Dwight Davis ruined him and got to move on. Here's Woodford. His partner, Woodbridge, actually won his match, so he could make it a double Woody. Well, I really shouldn't say that, but two semifinals, Florence and Indy, week 16 and 23. Week 16, he beat Vazek, Taylor, and Casal before losing to Clarence Griffin convincingly. And in Indy, he beat Huntington, Holcomb, and Fitzgerald, but lost to Jocko. Which doubles icon will move on? Here we go.
Quiet please, Paes to serve. First game. Play.
Here we go.
Out.
Love 15.
Out.
Love 30. Fifteen 30. 30 all. 40 30.
'Out.
Deuce.
Out.
Advantage. Paes. Deuce. Advantage. Paes. Game. Paes. First game.
First game, eh?
15 love. 15 all. 30 15.
Out. Out.
30 all. 40 30. Deuce. Advantage. Woodford. Game. Woodford. One game all. First set.
One through 10 minutes, but in wild cards, I make it a 10-minute match. And in the end, it was Pace who took down Woodford. So both ways couldn't do it. Leander weighs 7'6", 3'6", So Pace trying to bring India some pride. And he will now face Martin Dom. Excuse me, about 32. Next up, we got Harold Hackett and Danny Ralston, both winning a title to automatically qualify. Hackett won the U.S. Pro in 21, doing quite well. In Boston, he beat Natalie Warwick Holcomb and Slozil to move on to the championship. And he actually pulled a rabbit out of his hat in Australia. Being number 20, he beat Case, Murney, and Dom. He had an easy round, and then Renshaw beat him in 4 sets in the quarters. Denny Ralston, he won the Houston shootout. He was one of the first winners. Week 1, he got to the quarters losing the Wheaton. Week 2, he got to the semis losing the Robredo. Off week, and then in Houston, he beat Cassell, Huntington, Grosjean, Taylor, and Schmid to unreal qualify. And then he got to a pair of quarterfinals, Wimbledon and New York. Wimbledon, he beat Grob, Paulo Fox, and Grosjean before Art Larson beat him. And then in New York, he beat Stoker, Fitzgerald, and Germeau before being taken down by Gorman in 5. So here we go.
Quiet, please. Hackett to serve. First game. Play.
Here we go.
Out.
Love 15. 15 all. 15 30. 30 all. 30 40.
Out.
Deuce. Advantage. Hackett. Deuce.
Out. Out.
Advantage. Hackett.
Out.
Game. Hackett. First game. $15 love.
Out.
$30 love. $40 love.
Out. Out.
40 15.
Out.
Game. Ralston. 1 game all. First set.
Out.
Love 15. 15 all. 30 15. 40 15. Game. Hackett. Hackett leads 2 games to 1. First set.
After 12 minutes of play, Hackett's up 2-1. 12 minutes of play. And in the end, it was Hackett. He lost the first set, but won the next 2. So Hackett beats Ralston. So nice job by Harold Hackett. He will now have to face Germeau in the next round. 3 more matches. Roger Taylor. Now, the question on everyone's lips will probably be if Taylor wins. Yeah, Taylor wins his match against Gorman is going to be a Friday matchup. Now the question is, what if Stone beats Taylor? They said that because there were 2 British matches on the left side, one on the right side. They did say that if Stone does win, if the Aussie wins, then De Gamore versus Bryan will be Friday because it's in the same mini bracket as Hughes versus Robredo. They said that they would move De Gamore Bryan from Thursday to Friday if Roger Taylor loses because they want the only 3 English matches. So yeah, so Taylor wins, then De Gamore Bryan will be on Thursday. If Stone wins, then De Gamore Bryan will be on Friday. Roger Taylor will face Alan Stone. He won in Bristol, week 19. He kept getting to finals, like lots of finals. He was the hard luck kid. How many finals did he get to? Let's see. There was a final in Monte Carlo, losing the Pat Hughes in 5, even though he was up 2-6 to 1. Then in Nice against Lysette, he got swept out. Then he went to Bari for the final and won the first set, but lost the next 3 to Germeau. And then he went to London, the HP 250, losing to Van Ryn, even though he was up 2-6 to 1. Shut up, security. Then in Bristol, and then, Forts, and then he won in Bristol, beating Nina Elte Gilsper, and then beat Harold Hackett. And round 16. Got a couple of round 16s to him. Alan Stone, one of the last 8 in, made a pair of finals in Spain and Brisbane, week 29 and 30, back to back. That's kind of why he got in, because of his finals. He beat Nina, Baddeley, and Holcomb before losing to Fitzgerald, Alan Stone. And then in Brisbane, he beat Zook, he beat McNamee, he beat Aldrich, and Dwight before losing to Dom in 5. 2 finals.
Quiet, please. Stone to serve. First game. Play.
Out.
Love 15.
Out.
15 all.
Out.
15 30. 30 all. 40 30. Game. Stone. First game.
Out.
15 love.
Out.
15 all. 30 15. 40 15. Game. Taylor. 1 game all. First set. Love 15.
Out.
Love 30. 15 30. 15 40. 30 40. Deuce. Advantage. Taylor. Deuce. Advantage. Stone. Deuce. Advantage. Stone.
Out.
Game. Stone. Stone leads 2 games to 1. First set.
Well, Stone's up 2-1. Well, he did have a Bennett. And wow. And Taylor didn't do it. 7-6-6-4. Stone beats Taylor. And the fans in England throw bottles onto the court trying to hit Alan Stone, but they fail. Stone will face Gorman. And that means that, well, Friday we will have Renshaw versus Lott and Dixon versus Whedon. On the right side of the bracket, we will have Hughes versus Robredo. And because of Stone's win, Bob Bryan versus Dougie Moore has been pushed from Thursday to Friday. And we will, of course, tell you the whole thing with what matches will be Wednesday, what matches will be Thursday. Anyway, two more matches. We have Fizzer versus Thomas Smead first. Fizzer was the one of the last 8 picked. And all that. Well, Fizzer trying to join his fellow South African Aldrich. Well, Thomas Smead won week 11, beating Knowles, Holcomb, Griffin, Whedon, and Owen Davidson to move on. Danny Fizzer got to one final in Tokyo in week 32. I guess he did good enough to move on. He beat Duke Moore, Knowles, Woodford, and Bob Bryan, then lost to Holcomb Ward. So Fizzer somehow snuck himself in.
Quiet, please. Visser to serve. First game.
Who will win?
Play.
I will. Sure.
Love 15.
Out. Out.
15 all. 30-15. 40-15. Game Visser. First game. Love.
Out. Out.
15 all. 30-15. 40-15. Game Smid. One game all. First set.
Wait, it'll be 3 hours. Really?
Out.
Love.
Out.
30 love.
Out.
40 love. 40-15. 40-30. Game Visser. Visser leads 2 games to 1. First set.
Well, Fizzer's up 2-1. Did the South African win? The answer is no. Smead wins 6-7, 6-3, 6-4. So Fizzer is OUT out. Excuse me, I burped. So Smead with the win. He will now face Casal. And one more match. We have Ross Case versus Tom Bundy. Not Brady, Bundy. Both these guys have won a tournament. Case winning Stockholm in week 33. Beating Mirny, Dwight, Nestor, Stoker, and then Jocko Elting. Tom Bundy. He won the Italian Open in week 14. Got to the U.S. Open quarterfinals. But anyway, in week 14, he had a massive time in Germany having to qualify. He looked good, but he had to face George Lott and lost. Bundy beat Holcomb, Ward, Fitzgerald, Woodbridge, Hackett, and then Renberg. He was down 2-1 to Renberg, but he won. Then made a good run in New York City at number 8. He beat Coupeau, Dugamore, and Robredo before Renberg beat him in 4.
Quiet please. Bundy to serve. First game. Play. $15 love. $30 love. $40 love. Game Bundy. First game. $15 love. $30 love. $40 love. Game case. 1 game all. First set.
5 minutes.
15 love.
Out. Out.
15 all. 30-15. 40-15.
Out.
40-30. Deuce.
Out. Out.
Advantage Bundy. Game Bundy. Bundy leads 2 games to 1. First set.
Well, Bundy's up 2-1. I'll play, and it will be Case. The case of the missing tennis player. Well, Tom Bundy is missing in action, and it will be Ross Case who wins 6-4, 6-4. So our round of 32 is set in stone. So here are the matchups for Wednesday. So Wednesday, the following 6 matches will happen tomorrow. Van Ryn will take on Masters, Gilles Aldrich, Maccabee Gladehill, Renberg Woodbridge, Davidson Mahood, and Nasser Grosjean. On the left side, Renshaw versus Lott and Dixon Whedon will take place on Friday for the English population. On the right side of the bracket, here are the matches that will take place on Thursday. Fitzgerald versus Griffin, Pace versus Dom, Trumeau Hackett, Stone Gorman, Casal Schmid, and Case Davis. Meaning on Friday, it's Hughes versus Robredo, and Bob Bryan will face Dugamore on Friday. Because with Stone's win over Roger Taylor, they shift the Dugamore match to Friday because it's in the small group. So yeah, 6 of the 8 matches on the left side tomorrow, 6 of the 8 on Thursday, and then the 3 following the Brits and Dugamore Bryan will be on Friday. So that's how you'll finish it off. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond.